Hi, I'm Alex Stutchbury and welcome to ARTClass, a series of videos teaching you the key skills needed to create great art. Today I'm going to teach you a technique called wax resist. It's a simple process which can be really effective and can create really interesting outcomes.
Can I make an effective wax resist piece and learn how to use a limited palette of colours to create a bold contrast?
But one key thing to note in the wax resist technique is that oil and water don't mix. So when you're using either a wax crayon or oil pastel or even a candle, you will draw on top of a piece of paper, for example, and then when you apply your water wash on top, it will sit on top and actually go to the edges. It won't be able to soak in, so you're protecting the paper underneath. Have a look at this quick demo.
So here I am writing something onto white paper using white candle wax. And obviously you can't see it, but when you paint on top, the water is resisted, leaving the white writing showing.
Okay, so let's start a big piece. So what you need is an image that you want to work from and recreate, a piece of paper, a candle or an oil pastel or wax crayon, but make sure it's a clear one so it won't show up on the white paper initially. And then let's get started.
So pick a picture which has got good high contrast, like this gargoyle face. Then on your paper, draw it out. Draw quite boldly and zoom in if need be, so there aren't any tiny areas. You've got a lot of detail, but it's up large because you're not going to be able to have as much precise detailing showing when using the wax in the next stage. For the wax, I would just use a basic candle. I bought this set of 10 for about £4 from a supermarket. Use the end without the wick so it won't get in the way, and then highlight all of the lightest areas shown on that photo. So anything which is going to be really bright white, put them on. If you're not sure, do a little bit more than you think you may need to, even on mid-tone areas, because it's needing to have more highlights than less, because you don't want to do this stage and then find you haven't put enough on because you can't go back afterwards.
You must press firmly with the wax. If you don't grind it into the paper and make a thick enough layer, the water when you wash over the top will just seep through and the resist won't work. So really make sure you layer up all of those brightest light areas with the wax.
Put the torch on your phone or hold it up to a window and tilt it into the light. Then you can see where the wax is sitting on top of the white paper, so it's clearly visible.
For the colour wash on top, it's up to you what you want to use. If you've got something like watercolour paint, great. But if not, you could use anything from the kitchen. You could use some food dye, some soy sauce, balsamic vinegar. Just mix it into a little bit of water and then you can just cover it over the top, just like anything else. It will still resist.
So here I've made a blue dye using some food colouring. You must make sure you've mixed it up really boldly first. You don't want it too runny because otherwise the resist won't work. Don't paint over the same area more than once. Apply a little stroke of paint and then get some more on. It will run out quickly because the wax will dry it out off the brush. So keep getting more and more and layering it up onto all those areas, but only go over each section once. And quickly fill in the background to complete that piece.
Okay, once you've let it dry, it will look pretty cool. But you could always do one more layer. You don't have to. Depends how high the contrast already is with your washed layer on top. But if you want to make some of the bits really dark, what you could use is something like charcoal or oil pastel, even a dark graphite pencil, and blocking the very darkest areas. In this case, the sort of eye sockets and the open mouth.
So the key areas on this picture are the eyes, the nostrils, the mouth, but not the whole mouth. The top parts, yes, but actually you want to leave some of the blue mid-tone showing through. So actually the tongue in the bottom half is left exposed. So don't get carried away and apply too much of this dark layer on top, because otherwise it'll cover up all of the lovely texturing you get with this wax resist process, which suits something like the gargoyle picture really well because of that slightly textured surface where the water has formed droplets on top of a wax.
So there you go, a really simple technique, but it looks really cool, doesn't it? Have a look at these couple of other examples showing a different subject matter. So why not give it a go? Refer to this sheet at the end, explaining all the process again, but just remember, you must boldly colour those light parts in, really press firmly and double check it with the light source or holding it up to a window. Then applying washes over the top, but make sure those washes are really bold. Again, if it's too watery, it won't contrast. Then if you want to, at the end, you can add in extra details in the darkest areas to get that full tonal range, but sometimes you don't even need to if a watercolour wash or your dyed wash is bold enough in the first place. And apply closely to get a good contrast, one of my favourite words, but it's such an important one in art. So have a go at it, and I look forward to seeing how you get on. My name's Alex Stutchbury. Goodbye.